This is Jimmy from Bury the Kingdom. You're listening to the Dan Chan Show.
Jimmy, Brian, Gary, and Kyle from Bury the Kingdom. How are you going, guys?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Good.
It's a pleasure. So it must be hot as hell in Oklahoma. That's where you are right now, isn't it?
Correct.
I just looked, actually. It said it was 37 degrees.
Oh, we cook eggs on the concrete. We cook all of our meals outside.
Yeah.
Obviously, that studio you're in now, I can see you on this video now. You must be aircon, right?
Absolutely. Blowing right on top of us.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so let's get into it. So you guys released your debut music back in June, a self-titled 4-track EP. It's pretty awesome, guys. Tell me about the EP. I know you write with strong sentiment in mind. Can you explain it all? Are you all coming from the same mindset?
Well, the band started with the four of us recording, well, the five of us recording some music that was just heavier lyrically and musically. The first line of a song that Jimmy wrote was Bury the Kingdom, and it was grab a shovel and dig. And we just started riffing back and forth about, hey, well, what are we writing about? And what are we burying? And, with the state of the world, America's been through all sorts of crap, pardon language, over the last several years, of course. They say it's a country divided. There's just so many issues, and there are so many things to touch on. We couldn't just write metal that was about Friday night grabbing a beer and getting laid.
Leave that to the country boys. Leave that to the country boys.
And we are some country boys. We've all come from different areas, but most of the guys here are from the Midwest.
I was talking about country music.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. But we just started writing songs that meant something. We might not get it all right, but we're definitely passionate about it, and we just want to shine some lights on some dark areas. About uncomfortable subjects.
Because this is an angry EP, right? I mean, you're challenging everything. And I suppose those Trump years must have had you writing content daily. I mean, I've read that you're writing about the church. Good, big tick for me. Get them off. You've got corruption. You've got everything else. I love the sentiment. Tell me more about it.
It started with, again, is writing lyrics and being the vocalist. I have, to touch on what Gary said, this is more than just a party EP. We're approaching very gritty, edgy, sharp subjects that a lot of people don't want to be the front runners to go after. And being we have experience from previous projects, we want to bring that kind of season into something that means something at the end of the EP. When someone gets done listening, not only do they enjoy the music, but it was a message that they took away and they build from. Essentially, we are every time we play live, it's a court hearing, and our fans are the jury. And they are the ones passing judgment on the ones that the topics we're going after. So we hope that they take more away than just the music and the feel, but the message and understand why we do what we do.
Is the jury still out, or are they back with a verdict?
Oh, the jury's always in session, constantly. It's constant.
Somebody's always shit in the bed too. So.
Yeah, sure. So you talk about the band. Now, I need to know more about the historics of the band. Was the band born out of COVID? Was it a COVID baby? You had a couple of years to play with, nothing happening. Was that when it was getting it together? Was it before that? What happened? Did you know each other before?
Yeah, it started with previous projects that we were all equally successful in. No one was having tough times until, did you bring up COVID? It stopped live concerts for quite a while. When you stop something that's got that kind of momentum or that kind of importance counseling wise to any musician, you tend to start looking in other directions and other ways to keep yourself busy if you're not playing live. We ended up all finding crossroads at the same time between projects to say, well, here's an idea, here's the feeling that we have behind it. And we all had the same feelings, like you said, based upon COVID. It was a cabin fever kind of shutdown, kind of this is bull. It was the perfect synchronicity of hard times, hardships, and trash in the world that needed to be cleaned up. And that brought our, like I say, seasoned. We were past musicians in these projects that were playing very frequently. One from California, we were from Oklahoma. He was also from California, Arkansas,
I'm all over.
a gypsy. So that tended to be kind of the fabric and thread work of what would start Bury the Kingdom. And it was based upon us all enduring hardships and making a decision to do something that meant more than what we were previously doing.
Yeah, I mean, to touch on that, everybody over, this quarantine and everything has had to take a look at their lives in some way, shape, or form. Nobody's been able to get away from that. So everybody's come away from it a little different. Marriages broke up. Some people got stronger. Some people got weaker. Some people lived. Some people died. It's been interesting to be a part of these times. And yeah, the band came out of that.
Was it easy to get you guys together with the same mentality and the same political views? Because as you know,
no, we don't have the same political views.
Oh, really? Is it a divide?
No. I mean, Kyle and Brian, they're a little more right wing. I mean, than say Jimmy and I. I don't even want to speak for Jimmy. I don't even know what the hell he is.
I don't have wings. I'm the body. I don't pick a wing. I cut them both off and embrace the body part.
I mean, I'd probably be more liberal than anything. Just let people live their lives, and if it's not hurting me, I can give a crap.
Well, I've got to ask, guys. Obviously, the world's watching on what happened yesterday, and I've got to say now. Obviously, this will go out in a few weeks' time, but we've just had the Roe v. Wade situation. You're the first Americans I've spoken to. Only happened less than 24 hours ago. What's your guys' opinion?
Okay, Brian, Kyle, take it.
Go, Kyle.
Okay, on the Roe v. Wade situation, I am pro-life. I understand that there are certain situations where abortion is necessary. Save a mother's life. Is it rape? Was it incest? I get it. But one of the things that we all believe in here is life itself. Okay, we don't want to, I guess, indulge in the how would you say, getting rid of life. Some people would say murder. Some people call it abortion or whatever, but we love life. Life is beautiful. We love life. We protect life. And that there is one thing that we all sing about. That's what our music is about, is life, a beautiful, positive life in every message. And that's why we are, against the corruption. And
if the world was a better place, there would probably be less abortion.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course.
So, I know right now,
want to bring the kids
at this point in time, yeah, it is a very touchy subject.
Someone stirred the pot here in America. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's definitely weird.
That's exactly what I think.
But you know what? This could make for a new song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a woman's right to her body. It's her choice. But I mean, there are mitigating circumstances. You never know, but you definitely don't want just people running around getting abortions willy-nilly just because they can, I guess. But I'm not a woman. It's not.
The world looks on with America, where America is. I'm a massive fan of America.
Why?
Love America. Everyone looks. I might be a Chicago Bears fan, but I'm still, But
no Bears.
The world looks on. It's like, what's going on? You got the Trump thing, but then the UK had the Brexit thing, and there's a lot of problems in the world, and you can just tap in on all those things that just turn your buttons and just say, right, I'm going to write tracks about it. And how do you write as a band? I mean, how does that happen for you guys?
I'll take this.
Go ahead, bro.
Generally, it'll start out with one idea or a drum pattern, maybe that we've mapped out on MIDI drums. And a lot of the album is just off the cuff. It is literally I just heard the drums. I pull my guitar out. I just start jamming until I come up with something, or until all the guys turn and go, hell yeah, that's it. Then I'll work out a problem. We work that riff out. Then Gary usually comes in, puts candy and layering all over the top of it. In fact, most of the EP, as far as guitar wise, is just off the cuff. It's literally just wrote in right in the moment.
That's cool.
Other than one of the main riffs in Force Fed, which is one that I've had in my my book for 3 years, probably trying to find a place to put it. Other than that, most of the EP is just strictly
Written in the studio.
yeah, just right out in the moment. We just grind on it until we get it the way we want. That we're figuring out that that's how we work the best.
I mean, I'm an ex-musician myself. Well, still a drummer to a point, but I mean, bands aren't writing like that anymore. Are they just getting into a studio and thrashing ideas out? That's a real organic way, and I love that.
Yeah, and it's really something new for me personally. In my past projects, I've sit and had every single chug of the guitar mapped and ready to go before I present it to the rest of the band.
Yeah.
And that almost sucks all the fun out of it. It almost makes it so surgical and so serious.
Oh, yeah. Clinical.
You can't even smile, because if it doesn't go exactly how you've taught yourself it's supposed to go, well, then it's going to be worthless.
Yeah.
So just coming in and just going at it and going in the moment and just making it happen, that's absolutely what works best for us, and I think that's what we're going to stick with.
Well, that's awesome. And the fact that you're in the studio now rehearsing with the EP out, are you planning an album? What's next?
Yep, absolutely.
Yes. So right now, we have already got a song done. What we like to do, based on where we come from, this is a different approach. Everything seems to come out in singles now, and before you would buy, and I guess I'll put age to it, a cassette or a CD, and you had the insert that had the lyrics, and you had it in hand, and you took it to a show and you got it signed. It's a different approach. So we are writing, and once we get done with one song, so we don't bleed that same feel into the next song, we mix it, we master it, we finalize it, set it to the side, and then we move on to the next song. Because what we found is if you write them continuously in the same room, you tend to have a little thumbprint or fingerprint that's continuously placed on every song, some good, but some not so good. And we try to theme each song to have its own feel, its own aggression, its own subject, and you know it right when you hear it. Right when it pops in, you go, unveiling. Oh, force fed. Oh, war.
Absolutely.
I can see a concept album for you guys in the future.
Absolutely.
Well, that's more or less what this is turned into. When we started with the Bury the Kingdom song, and then we decided to name the band that, then we decided to go after issues. I mean, God bless the state of the world, but we will never run out of issues to sing about.
Never.
I mean, until we do, we will keep putting out music.
I love it.
Job security.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the EP cover is pretty cool as well. Is that the Constitution written on your face? Is that the coming across? It
is. It is.
Well, who came with that idea?
Jimmy.
I do all the graphic designing, and so I wanted it to be representative of not only where we come from, but you can find other pictures that have our actual nationality of our heritage of where we come from. That I have the Choctaw Indian. They have their flags representing, yes, we're from America, but we're all from everywhere. But representing where we come from and tackling issues from where we go and spider webbing out and making a difference. We can always start from where we physically are.
Yeah.
So that's based upon the concept of our artwork, America, the problems, the church, courts. I mean, Force Fed is probably one of my favorites because we tackle into the problem with opioids. It's pretty bad here. I'm not sure how it is over there, but it's bad here, and it's bad enough to where it needs to be talked about. It's ridiculous, to be honest. But then Bury the Kingdom is the coverage of the hunt, where you hunt the topics down, figuratively speaking. But we hope that will continue the concept for the rest of our songs, that we're just going after the topics to make sure it's not just the music.
Of course. Now, where does the band name come from? Because obviously I understand the concept behind it, but I had to look twice when I first saw you, because there is a Bury Thy Kingdom. And did you know that when you decided on the name, or do you think, Kit, we'll own it now?
No. So when we were in the studio and I had said the words, grab a shovel and dig, and one of the guys had said, well, what are we digging? What are we burying? And someone said, well, we're burying the whole damn kingdom. And all of us, like, we base names upon, can it be chanted? Is it memorable? Is it too long? And can we have a concept of what would be a badge logo? that would go along with it, hence the broken crown.
Yeah.
So instantly, being the business side, we went through and I went and took care of our business side of Bury the Kingdom. And then when I went and did a web search of getting a domain, I saw Bury Thy Kingdom. And then I looked them up, and they're from America as well, Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. And they've been broken up for almost 6 years now. And I actually sent an email out to one of the members, never got a response. I've had 2 or 3 other fans reach out and say, we've been waiting on a reunion, blah, blah, blah. And I go, I appreciate that, but hopefully you still enjoy the music. But yeah, we've ran into that. But no, we definitely did not know previously. It was more of a on the spot. Yeah, that sounds great. Chantable, goes with the topic of the song.
Yeah. So this band, a couple of years old now. Is it a couple of years old now, would you say? How long have you been together?
About a year.
A year. So a year. So have you done any shows yet?
No.
Not as Bury the Kingdom.
So what is the plan? What do you think a Bury the Kingdom show would be like?
Man, we want to play Bakken.
Well, he's asking what would it be
What would
like?
it
What's
be
the
like?
experience?
Intense.
Yeah, it would be intense. A lot of pits, I'm sure. A lot of fist pumping.
Engaged. I mean,
Hopefully, a couple of girls here and there. That'd be all right. You know,
That's why we play music, right?
correct. Benefits.
But a lot of connecting the message with the people.
Yeah, yeah.
So you want to
I mean,
be, you want to be like the Rage Against the Machine, a little bit political, a little bit like the Flame, like the Torch.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we just want to be like the more metal Rage Against the Machine.
There's not many bands. A lot of bands now. I'm not sure because of the way the world is, but a lot of bands seem to have just pulled away from that a little bit. You know, there's not many doing like, oh, I'm not getting involved. Like James Hetfield, for example, famously was like, I'm not getting involved in the politics. You know, I don't want to be a politic band, but there's not. It's great to hear that bands want to do that now.
Well, and the concept made sense based upon untaming what we're talking about. Not being so eggshelled about what we're writing about, how we present it live, and how we are unapologetic about what we write about. It's going to offend some people. Not everyone's going to love it or like it. And the ones who don't, pass it on to someone who will. It's for the people who are willing to jump on and help make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's, again, it's the topics that we're not scared to tackle. And I'm glad that we can be a band that will do that. And the rest of them can hopefully jump on board and see that it needs to be done.
Exactly. So with a massive, beautiful Stars and Stripes behind you, I've got to ask this question. Europe or the US for metal? Who has it best?
Oh, man.
I'm sorry,
Europe.
Europe.
Yeah.
Europe, no question.
Why? Tell me why.
I love everything European.
Okay.
I mean, dude.
Best festivals, everything.
Festivals. It used to be a joke that we would say, I mean, this is years ago, but say Meshuggah and who was some other bands that were coming out at that time. There was a few. Meshuggah was always my example of they would come over and go, oh, Medica crap. And I mean, they go, oh, the petty riffs. Oh, it's so cute. And it's true. There was a intense, serious, no joking approach to the metal that would come out of Europe and that we would hear, and it would kind of make us go, man, we got to practice. And any music that makes you do that, and if you're a musician, it's a humbling experience to listen to something you aspire to get within the realm of respect or being able to share a stage appropriately, not just because you got on the bill, but be able to play on a level playing field and have a chat afterwards, and it's a respect.
It's like a breath of fresh air. When it comes to
I mean,
at least for us.
I mean, festival-wise in the States, they have a lot of multi-genre festivals, don't they? It's like they've got some really random bands playing with Metallica and stuff like that. Whereas in Europe, we seem to have a really good core metal circuit and metal festivals as well. And you notice that, right? You see that. Yeah.
Yes, it falls out in America. So let's say Ozfest. That was the most recognizable metal fest in America, but why isn't it still going on? I mean, it was based upon Black Sabbath and Ozzy headlining, I guess, but it was doing well, so why not just hand the torch over to another band to carry on the festival theme? That's what's appropriate about Europe is say Bloodstock and Vakken, and there's festivals that have continuously gone on. It's not based upon one band's attendance; it's based upon the fans' attendance.
They've stood the test of time.
That's why it's so beautiful. And it was funny. I was talking to a label mate on Slip Trick, and they said, "Yeah, we really want to come to America." And I sent an email back. I said, "Really? Where?
Of
Where
course.
do you want to go?"
It's the dream. It's opposite way round. You know, European musicians want to go to the States. They think, oh, the States is amazing. You know, we'll play the whiskey and shit. And then you guys want to come here and play, you know, but in London, you know, it's like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? It's like a student swap, shall we say. So with that in mind, then what 3 bands would you choose to tour with in a perfect world?
Alive? Can I?
Yeah. I mean, now, let's be real.
Okay.
And then we'll have Dead afterwards.
Everybody knows what I'm going to say.
Oh,
So,
I know you. Well, go ahead.
Lamb of God.
Gary or Kyle?
I
You can have one each. Let's say 4. Let's have one each. Go on.
Lamb of God for Brian, Parkway Drive for me.
I would say Parkway Drive, Ginger.
And I would probably say to grab some Young Cats, a Wage War. I think that'd be a good mix.
Okay. Here's a random one. If metal didn't exist, what music would you be playing? I think there's going to be a country musician amongst you.
Yeah, that would be me.
Well, yeah, I've got some. I think we all have some country in it.
It's got to be old school country, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Reggae.
It would be
reggae.
old school country or blues for
Now
me.
listen, when I light a barbecue, I want to hear some steel guitar. That's what I do here, and that's miles from you guys. You know, I want to hear that. You know, I love that. But what's your favorite metal bands at the moment? And obviously you've mentioned Lamb of God and Meshuggah. You've mentioned Parkway Drive. Are there any other bands, non-metal or metal, that you listen to when you're not together?
One of my most favorite bands on earth that's not a metal band is Seether.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Seether. I know everything Seether. I'm a Seether groupie practically. No, I love Seether, and I love hard rock like Chevelle. I try to get away from metal sometimes, so when it gets back to the writing, I'm not so saturated with it all the time. I'm trying to do that lately, but yeah, I love Chevelle, Seether, just hard slamming rock.
Yeah.
Me, I'll throw on classical music. Yeah.
Classical, really?
Yeah, just to have it in the background, just for like soundtrack. You know, really.
Yeah. Soundtrack music. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
have you ever heard Andy McKee? So
No.
he's a guitar player. The ones that kind of slap and they use
Right.
the body of the guitar as the drum. I listen a lot to him when I'm getting home. I'm the same as them. Being the vocalist, I try to decompress
Right.
away from metal.
Yeah.
But
Same.
if I'm listening to metal, man, I just try to listen to what's coming out new. What's that band from Texas that Upon a Burning Body?
Yeah.
They're
Great.
right.
Yeah.
They're one state away from us. We're drowning
They're
pool
great
with them,
band.
and we used to play a lot with them. So they're a young up and coming band, kind of like Wage War.
Yeah, they're a great band.
Make them suffer, but you said non-metal. I would have to go. I'm going old school country, Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah.
or smooth jazz.
You see, Hank Williams, I can get into that. I like this, man. I'm up for that. If the moment's right, I've got a glass in my hand, there's something smoking on the barbecue, I'm up for that shit. Love it.
Great barbecue.
Yeah. I'll be doing that after this, mate. What's something you think everyone should try once?
Legally or illegally?
Whatever you want. Whatever you think we should try.
I think everybody should skydive once.
Yeah. I'm up for that. Yeah, go on. Next, anyone?
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is everyone should try some form of trying to pick up some sort of an instrument, whether it be picking up a pad and pen, writing some poetry, trying your hand at guitar, something. Because if you don't, you just don't understand what you're missing. And it's a beautiful, like I said, counseling session. Everyone should try it.
Fair play. Good answer. Kyle, anyone?
Yeah, I would say what I think everybody should try is let go of the past and live in the now.
Nice.
I'd almost go off. I'd come on that.
Sounds like a tattoo, that, Kyle.
Oh.
Right. Speaking over here, I'd say, yeah, everybody needs to remember. You need to try to remember that you're not the only person on the planet.
Yeah.
Get outside of yourself. Try to get outside.
Exactly. So bucket list, guys. Be realistic. Maybe whatever you think. You're probably not going to get Wembley Stadium the next couple of years. But what's on the bucket list right now for you guys?
I mean, I think as a whole, and I feel pretty solid about speaking for all of us on this, finishing a full-length album long enough to where we put on our live show will be very theatrical. It'll have a lot going on visually. So having enough songs to facilitate a good hour and a half show that everyone can come experience it, feel the energy, grab the message, and enjoy the show. You know, that for sure is a huge bucket list topper for us right now.
Absolutely, got to get that done.
Awesome. I've got to have a random question now as well. Another random one. You've got an amazing chef sat right next to you guys. What's his best dish? This is for you, Jim. You got to be quiet now. I want you guys to. Does he cook for you guys?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
I've worked with him too.
Really?
I'm not as good as him, nowhere near, but his cinnamon rolls are the bomb.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm a closet baker.
Really? It's more baking. Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, I run. I work at a medical facility. After I owned 2 restaurants previously, and they got closed due to COVID.
Right. I'm sorry about that. Shit.
No. It's everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I know.
If it was still
Yeah,
open,
of course.
we'd be together.
That's right.
But yeah, that's cinnamon rolls is my secret.
Okay. Quick one then. Starter, main course, dessert. Go. Jimmy. This is Jimmy's.
Oh yeah.
Starter. Definitely, I would have to say crab stuffed mushrooms. Main course, steak with rosemary, butter, garlic, with smashed red potatoes, literally smashed with a little garlic butter, share from the steak. Dessert is going to be your classic cheesecake with a chocolate ganache over the top with sauteed cherries.
Yeah.
Mate, when am I invited?
Dude, whenever you want to come up, you're invited. Do it every week.
Okay, guys. So describe the band in 3 words. I'll tell you, we'll have 4 words. You can have a word each.
Brotherhood.
Determined.
Bond.
Powerful.
Love it. And finally, what's your favorite track from the EP that sums the band up the best? In other words, your favorite track. Because I'm going to play it next, so you need to decide between yourselves.
Go ahead.
Y'all know my vote. Force fed, absolutely.
That's
I
one.
would agree. I would say force
2
fed.
for force fed.
I'm going force fed too, and
Oh,
the reason I say that, and I believe these guys, in some way or another, every person, not just in this country, but in this world, has been affected by this topic.
Yeah.
That's why this is so powerful.
It's the most universal, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, thanks so much for joining me on the show. I'll be following your progress closely and looking forward to see what happens to you guys. Good luck with everything, and I hope to see you in Europe at some time.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, man.
Thanks.
It's a
Thanks,
pleasure.
man.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
sir.
And I'll be sending you an invite for some dinner.